It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Two Guys and a Goalie, brought to you by GS Construction, setting the industry standard for 50 years with quality, efficiency, and safety, driving their success. GS Construction, with a foundation built on teamwork, and now they want you to become a part of the team. Visit www.gsconstruction.ca and click Ready to Work, or visit their page at Indeed.ca. And with the Next Up Person program at GS Construction, it's not just a job, it is a career. Are we waiting for Cass?
Yes.
Okay.
No one sent them the link until now, so he should be joining shortly. Sorry about that, guys. It's just the way she goes.
All right, so Cass will be joining shortly. That's okay. We got controversy to discuss here in the office. We got people throwing other people under the bus. What the hell's going on? Also, shout out to Taran Sandwith, who just signed on for another year as a presenting sponsor of Two Guys and a Goalie. And I think I wish everybody was like GS. So their deal expires on May 10th. And I just emailed Sandy yesterday. I said, hey, man, just brought to my attention your deal expires May 10th. If you wanted to run back another year at the same rate, obviously glad to have you. Thanks for hopping on board with the golf tournament. And he replies, he goes, yeah, boom, let's go. Let's do it. Which means I think he wants to be in studio again.
Oh, of course he does.
Which we would totally be on board with.
Of course he does.
And having that guy at the golf tournament increases the value of overall golf tournament.
Oh, wait till you get some of these GS people out there, too.
Yeah?
Oh, my God.
What, are they all like him?
That's why you go there. That's how you have to be. They promote within. They are all just like the Sandman.
Okay, that sounds like a good time then.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to work at a really fun place, then go work at GS Construction. They are hiring right now. All right, so the main computer the boys use over there, I guess the mouse, I don't even know what the issue is. It's a little sticky or doesn't scroll ever. Hernan, what's the deal with this mouse that makes everybody?
It's seen better days. You can't scroll. It's time for a new one.
Yeah,
that's the.
That mouse gets a lot of use. That's a pretty busy mouse. I'd argue it's the most important mouse in the entire office.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Did anyone change the batteries in it yet?
Well, it plugs in.
It plugs in.
I mean, that's our first problem. What is this? 2010?
Yeah.
Why do we have a wired mouse? And it's coming all the way down through all these other cables. I just think it's unnecessary. So we'll probably go wireless mouse. But we're sitting here, and Trev and Hernan are over there and say, Dusty, why can't we get a new mouse? I said you could get a new mouse. I told Maddie to go buy a new mouse. And then Hernan says, no, Maddie said no.
Yes,
and then Matt comes in, walks around the studio. I said, why are you telling these guys we can't get a new mouse? He goes, I never told anybody that. So what is going on here right now, Hernan?
Okay, no, because I was talking with a few of the boys, and I said, hey, we need a new mouse. And then I didn't throw any names, but I was told that someone asked, and Maddie said, no, it's fine. So that's it. There's no story here. That's all.
You know what it is? You threw Maddie right under the bus right away.
But this was, I told Dusty, I said, well, according to my sources, Maddie said, no, the mouse is fine. So that's all
if you would have said that right at the beginning, you would have been fine. But you just threw Maddie right under the Greyhound right away.
I said,
yeah, you did. No. It's the truth.
Well, that's
you did.
what I was told.
But then as soon as Maddie came in here and said, this is what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
You got to watch out how you convey the information.
And I can't reveal my sources, right? A good reporter doesn't reveal his sources.
Was it Coob?
No, but I was told that he said no.
Okay.
Maybe they were joking.
I'm just saying, we can afford to buy a new mouse. Let's get a new mouse over here for the boys who are on that desk over there.
Cass is ready.
Yeah, we'll get to Cass in a second. The other thing I talk about, people are blaming you for taking all that pizza.
Oh, that time?
Yeah, like this week.
Again?
Sorry. Who was blaming him, Dusty?
YouTube Trev.
Okay. I'll just stay quiet.
But I didn't blame Gager. Somebody told me that it was Gager. I wasn't blaming Gager. It seemed really weird.
It's the same thing. I'm in the same boat. Someone told me.
This is not the same boat. I never once accused anybody of it.
But I didn't accuse Maddie. I just said.
I think YouTube Trev accused Gager of taking the extra pizzas when they were in the freezer all along.
Trev did that?
Yes.
Oh, I'll have a discussion with him after this show. Tough to move when your arms don't work.
Oh, all right. There you go. Are there any other workplace controversies we need to get? Is this how it is at GS Construction?
No,
the same controversies?
Yeah, maybe we need Sandman in here because I had to clean up that bathroom that was just destroyed earlier today.
Okay, no, but I thought it was the kitchen that smelled like somebody took a dump in there.
See, so yesterday I emptied the garbage can and put it in a bag.
Oh, so that's what was smelling.
I did that because everyone just kept piling on more and more and more. So I just put it and started a new garbage can. And then today I went into the bathroom and it was like Chernobyl in there. And we do have Russians downstairs, so it kind of makes sense. But I took a good pine soling to
You
that
did.
thing,
Well,
and
thank you for
it's,
that, Gage.
and
It is your month to clean.
I know, but my duties my duties expand to the bathroom.
Yeah, but they shouldn't. They should be.
shouldn't.
This is office related cleaning, and
I just went
somebody
to buy
needs to do a
some,
better.
I bought a spray for Bruce.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
That's good too.
whoever went to that bathroom this morning, please go to the doctor. That's all I'm gonna.
Oh, I know it wasn't me because I had to go when somebody was in there. So don't tell anybody, but I went in the woman's washroom today.
It's a different world.
It's beautiful in there.
Oh my god,
it's a beautiful in there.
It's like going it's like the opening scene of Bambi. Like when you go in there,
flowers are
flowers
everywhere.
and there's
Oh,
birds.
it's so great. They got the spray.
Oh, it's unreal.
paper
The
towels everywhere.
the garbage can isn't overflowing with paper towel.
God,
Yeah.
it's like a dystopian novel in the men's.
Yeah, no, that was not me today. I'll say that. But you know, I like our spot here, but the overall landlord maintenance kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to be doing the garbages here at least once every 2 weeks, like, or at least put a garbage bin outside so we can take out the garbage and put it in the bin.
That's all we need.
Yeah,
That's all we need.
I don't know how we don't have a garbage bin outside.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain in the butt. All right, now we can bring in Cass. Sorry, Cass, you had to wait through all the important stuff on the show today. Cass, you're just shaking your head, eh? How is it at your place of work right now? Similar stories?
No. But I mean, I got a bone to pick with you guys now. More controversy.
What?
Oh.
Does that have to do with
there's a
Skinner
rumor
not
going
starting?
around, that you decided to make me wait to hop on the show today
Sorry, man.
because I keep beating you guys at F1
Oh,
fantasy.
God. I didn't even look this weekend.
Where'd you finish, Cass?
I don't know. I'm second and third overall. I'd have to look.
Oh,
at this.
overall. But how was your
I
weekend?
think I
I
was
haven't
like
looked
third
at
and
the weekend.
seventh. I think I was third and seventh.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty. It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I didn't even see what happened with my lackluster squad.
Very cool. He used another chip, though. He went limitless again.
He went limitless.
Wait, how many limitless
So
chips do you get?
Well, one per team.
he had Verstappen. He had both Mercedes and both McLaren guys.
Okay,
he
so
took
we
a
all
big
get to
lead.
do that at one point and
At
close
one
that
point,
gap.
yeah.
Okay. I don't remember those last year. Was that a thing last year?
Oh, yeah.
No wonder I sucked so much last year. I didn't use any of those.
But he's not that far ahead.
For a guy who's already blown out the...
through these things. Like,
I'm 13th and 15th. I got to get going.
yeah, it's striking distance, man. It's all right. Bring the upgrades.
You're like Aston Martin, Dustin.
Yeah, look at this guy's lineup. The Limitless. Piastri, Russell, Lando, Max, Antonelli, Mercedes, and McLaren.
It's
Jeez.
good to do it. Like he hit it, but I wonder about because of the sprint weekend. There's more points available. It's a good play, but I just thought so early in the season to pull that stuff, man. Because now he's got to make sure he gets it all right.
How about this one? Lieutenant Eric, who I'm pretty sure has not checked his roster once,
Nope.
is sitting in fourth right now with Yuki Romeo.
I know. I keep telling him that. He goes,
That
"Oh,
bastard.
that's great."
How's he pulling that off? He's 40 points back of Cass and doesn't have to tell us about it every time we see him, which is nice to see. Nice to see. So how about this? This makes even more intrigue. On our Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube account, it just chimed in on the chat and says that mouse has been busted for months. It's about damn time. Signed, Anon Amos.
Oh, really?
So now somebody's in the YouTube channel talking about the mouse being broken. What is going on right now in this building? Whew.
There's a lot of stuff going on. You can tell it's a game day, huh? Everyone's on edge.
Oh, yeah, everybody's freaking out about the game tonight. That's a pretty good point. Look, we're going to get to the Oilers and Golden Knights, but Cass, I do want your thoughts on last night. Game one, Florida, Toronto, got a little nastiness. Stolarz had to leave the game, and Gager will get your thoughts on taking a puck to the head and how it can impact you. But Cass, what did you think of game one of that series, and does it change the way you view that series at all moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, initially I was like, "Oh, Toronto might walk all over these guys." I don't know how much Florida's got in the tank, but then Florida makes a push, and you find some chinks in the armor, and they do what Florida does well, and battling back. And finding a way to get into that game. Now the Bennett elbow on Stolarz brings another level to it, and everyone in Toronto is absolutely freaking out. Of course, how could you not suspend this guy? He's the worst person in the world. Throw him in jail for 40 years, never to see the light of day again. It's attempted murder. I think I saw someone actually tweet that from the Toronto sports media that they said this is literally attempted murder. And so it just adds some depth to it. I didn't think it was that bad, guys. Like, he's trying to make a play for the puck. He's not looking at his head, like he's turning. But yeah, I mean, it didn't completely change my perspective on the series. It went from being like, oh, Toronto might actually win this series, to, oh, this is going to be a fun series, to, oh, this is going to be a fun series, and there's going to be some nastiness, which just makes it more exciting.
When I first saw it, I watched it live. I thought it was trying to draw 2 minutes, right? Because it didn't look that bad. And then on second glance, again, it looked like more of a brush than a hit. And again, I thought it was it was trying to draw the penalty. But now you see him, he gets the shot off the head, and he goes down again. Then there's, he's puking. The first thing I thought, because it didn't look that bad, I thought it was food poisoning, first of all. Like, I thought he was just upset tummy or something like that. But I've been hit in the head numerous times with pucks like that and popping the mask off, right? And I told you before, Dusty, it's the pucks or the punch that you don't see that usually knocks you out. But you see the puck coming, oh, it's going to hit me in the head, here it comes, boom. And you're usually okay, but it is that point where, like, Cass, you've probably hit a few guys on the chin, on the button, and all it requires is a few pounds of force to knock someone out when you placed properly. So obviously there was something happened off that shot, and Stolarz should have probably came out. But now it begs the question: if a goalie gets hit in the head with a puck, does the spotter say, well,
how do you know when to do that? How do you does it have to be an automatic, or you don't want to do that because those helmets are designed to make sure you can stay in the game?
They're so designed. I wouldn't say, I've never had a puck to the head that really hurt, like really bad.
Really, not once. You've never been like,
It would be like, when you get punched in the face, like in the jaw, and your jaw hurts for a little bit. That's how it kind of feels. It's not bad. And if you're chewing steak, you're like, that hurts. But it's more like a stinging blow. It's not. So maybe I just have a really thick skull and it doesn't affect me as poorly. But I wonder now, like, now you have to really consider, and there's signs of, I guess someone mentioned today, if shaking of the head, that's a sign that you're kind of partially.
Yeah, after he got his sting back on, he was kind of like,
But that's just you trying to get to me, that was just me trying to get my mask back in place.
Yeah,
so
to sit right.
And I think you're just going to see goaltenders, because if you do get hit in the head, especially in those key situations, it's not the same as a player going back and going into the protocol. When you're starting goalie and another guy has to come in, that puts your team at a disadvantage. So I think you're actually going to see a lot of goalies not embellishing contact to the head as much, because you're probably going to get taken out of the game.
Cass, what do you think? How do you got to handle that situation as a concussion spotter?
It's hard because sometimes you can't see it, right? Like, you're looking for visible signs, but if the player doesn't say anything and you can't visibly see anything happen, it's hard to know. Like, how are you supposed to know? And it could have been the puck, it could have been the hit, it could have been a combination of both, right? Like, it's
probably was, it to be fair.
Yeah, it could be both. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's one of those ones where it's an injury you can't see, like, and that's where it's difficult as a spotter, because you don't want to just be pulling guys left, right, and center, because goalies' masks, pucks go off them all the time. They're designed to stop pucks. I mean, that's what they're designed. They're designed to keep your head safe and stop the puck. And even the way the grooves are on the masks now, it's like they're designed to deflect away from your face on impact. And, the way the straps work even, and with the cage, it's like, well, if you get hit right square, well, it's supposed to kind of flex and bend back. So it doesn't, you don't receive the full impact, but it's impossible to see if they function as it was supposed to when you get hit with it. So it's really hard. I mean, I don't blame the spotters, because I don't think you could really tell at that. And that, the responsibility is ultimately on the player to try to make a decision, and medical staff to be watching too, the guys at ice level, not just the concussion spotters up top, but the guys at ice level to look and to see. Because if you think for your starting goalie, like if the guy's concussed, like you don't want a spotter to pull him for no reason, but if a guy's legitimately concussed, like, do you want that guy in net? Like, is that the best idea to run with if you think he actually may be concussed? So it's a tough one, tough situation. At the end of the day, I just hope Stolarz is okay. Like, I hope he recovers. Hope he's fine. Obviously ends up being a little bit scary with the vomiting on the side and all that. So you want to see the guy be okay and his brain be okay.
I also point out that I'd like to see Sam Bennett in an Oilers jersey next year. Like, do you think Cass, there's no way Sam Bennett, the Florida doesn't let that guy get away, right? As a UFA?
You could.
Like,
I don't know how you could.
Don't you think that's...
I mean, you could if you don't have enough money to give him. I haven't looked at their salary cap, though, so I don't know.
Find that money.
I think you wait January 1st, see what the Leafs do, and then see their cap situation and look at that nice. I think that there's an offer sheet possibly there to be had. If I'm a team, I'm eyeing him up.
You like him, eh?
Big, strong, fast. He's
nice goal last night.
He scores. Yeah, and he's only 22 or 23. He's a young guy too, so
yeah,
I like.
He's 22.
Matthew Nice,
RFA, Matty Nice, Tavares and Marner are UFAs.
So you see where they hit,
yeah,
and then kind of maybe you can put them at a disadvantage by looking. And I mean, he's a really good player. He's played on their top line all year.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, Tavares walks, you pay Matt Nyes.
Yeah.
And you pay Marner.
I know. That's probably how it goes.
I think that probably ends up. But if you want to chime in, I don't know how many people would want to chime in on that. But 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. All right, let's get to this. This is big news today. Gene Principe, who had not cut his hair, I think, since November of 2023. This is what he was looking like. This was the before picture of Gene Principe. And Gager, you've worked with him a bunch. Is it distracting working next to this guy with hair like that?
No, it's you kind of get caught in it. Like some people have beautiful
physically,
eyes.
like your hand.
You're looking at the back and the wings, and sometimes the time seemed to slow down. It was like Baywatch sometimes with Gene.
Makes sense. So
it's a lot. It's a lot.
This is what he looked like before he went and got a haircut. Here's what he looks like now, which is, I mean, first of all, great haircut.
Yeah.
I do love it. But Cash, your thoughts on the team that you cover has won 4 in a row heading into the second round, and now is the time you decide to get a little trim.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened? I don't think this is public information, but I'm going to share it.
Okay.
Because I think this is important, is that Stuart Skinner went in and cut Principe's hair in the hotel room while he was sleeping.
While he was sleeping.
To try to make the team, to throw them off in hopes that he would get the net in game 1.
Well, we'll really find out if Gene Principe is Samson from the Bible stories, actually.
No strength anymore. Strength is gone.
This will finally, we'll figure out if the source of Gene's power does come from his hair.
Yeah.
And and then I forget my Bible stories aren't that good, but I remember he took down the city after his hair grew back. So maybe it'll grow back a little bit and they can come back in 7 if needed.
The case was being made today when Huss and I on the Lock Shop were talking about this. Why would you do this now? And the case being made is, and I would think that Gene does this knowing that it's scripted into his open, right? So would it be tonight when they throw it to him, he goes, the Edmonton Oilers are just 2-10 in their last 12 game ones. It's time for a change. And then he goes, and I've made it. Like, everybody's making it. Like, is that, or is there a Vegas play here on on how it works. And I mean, he doesn't get this cut in Vegas. I mean, that's got to be a homegrown, go to your guy Edmonton cut. But do you think he did it on a change the way they start series pun for tonight's game?
I don't think Gene would mess with a streak. I think the higher ups at Sportsnet finally said it's time.
Oh, I sure hope not. Did they not see him in the moss pit as a legend after?
I know, but he this is just a peek behind the curtain. I was saying, did they say anything? And he was kind of, they did one time way back when, but then it was kind of my thing or whatever. But they might have, like, they're in the next
round 2.
Yeah, because usually they don't get.
No, this crew doesn't usually get the second round.
So he's a lot more visible, I guess, nationally.
Do you think they said to Gene, if you don't get your haircut, Jack and Louie aren't doing this either? They're going to bring in Bartlett to do the games with Louie, probably.
Maybe.
So he did it for Jack as a sacrifice.
Maybe they said Stoff, wife beater, had to do it in his hits. So
maybe that's what. Maybe after Stoff posted his video,
yes,
they're like, Gene, you need to do something now too. And then Gene decided to cut his hair. But that's big news. It's weird timing, and you know how people are. If the Oilers lose in 5 against Vegas for some reason, people will look back to the haircut of the spring of 25 and blame Gene Principe.
Which is in some ways.
And not blame Stoff for the swag walk like you just swept the Golden Knights, as opposed to just going into a series against the Golden Knights. So
the swag walk.
We'll see how that goes.
What song did Stoff pick too? It was it was.
You know what someone needs to do? Someone needs to come up with a dance, and call it the Stoffy, like the Stoffy strut or something.
No, we don't. You're thinking of Hot Tub Time Machine too, the Weber strut, but he just went like this. I just watched that movie the other day.
Someone needs to do it. Someone do it, nasties. Get on it.
If they win tonight, it is because of the strut, though.
Mm-hmm.
Gazzola is in on the chat and says, from Gene less than a minute ago, they kindly suggested it might look good for round 2. Okay. And then Brett over in the chat, and he was on our show a couple weeks ago, Gino. He says, Dusty, he said this on your show when you interviewed him about the pepperoni Principe from the Italian Center. He said he got an email saying, cut it before the second round.
Oh.
He said it to me. I totally blanked. Short-term memory issue, I guess.
Huh.
So that's a thing.
I've never had Sportsnet ask anything about my appearance. So.
Not at all. Hey, they haven't said a little bit of a looser suit sometimes.
Yeah.
Wait a second. What about the leather jacket? I don't think we saw the leather jacket this year.
I never wore the leather jacket though.
So did they shut it down after last season?
I never did wear it. I never wore the.
You wore a leather jacket on Sportsnet?
No, I wore it on Oilers Plus.
What?
I thought you had it live.
I thought you had it live on Sportsnet.
Well, maybe I did.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been a thing if it wasn't on Sportsnet.
I guess. Yeah, maybe I did.
Somebody confirm this. Did Gage ever wear the leather jacket on Sportsnet? Because I think he did.
I think I did. Because someone commented, "Oh yeah, an Edmonton guy wearing a leather jacket."
Here's an update from Tommy Gazzola in the nasty chat from Gene less than a minute ago. Kindly suggested it might look good for round 2.
That's the exact message I read less than a minute ago.
God.
So
maybe we are all concussed here.
I missed that. Maybe I'm concussed too. Sorry, buddy. I missed you saying that. I missed you reading that one. I missed you reading that one.
But all good, man.
To me, it's kind of like that ends up being it's the optional skate thing. Gage, I don't know how many optional skates you got to be a part of.
Every single one.
But where it's like, yeah, this skate's totally optional. And the coach is like staring at me. He's like, it's an optional skate.
Yeah.
You don't have to go on the ice. And he keeps looking at me. And the goalie coach is like sitting next to me and is like tapping my leg. He's like, it's optional. And you know that there's no way that this thing is optional for you. And you have to do what they're saying. So optional haircut for Gene. He probably was pushed to do it a little bit.
This is a good one. Amos Moses over on the text line 780-218-9999. Gene got lice in the moss pit and had to get a trim.
That's a good one.
They just the Oilers Twitter account about 14 minutes ago put out a video of Gene with his fresh hair, and then you see Nuge's reaction to it. He's like, Oh, Gene. All right. Well, the legend of Principe continues to roll on as the Oilers get set for round 2 here against the Golden Knights. Gage, let me ask you this. Do they show up in game 1 after going 2-10 in their last 12 game ones?
You got to think that they're tired of the same old story of going into a series and starting late. Are you asking me, will they win or will they have a better performance?
Will they play well? Let's just go there because we can't really say that about a ton of their game ones.
I don't think they will, Dusty. No. I find that the Edmonton Oilers, and this is even if you look at most of their games, when do they start on time? They're like that a prize fight where with two, really good boxers, where that first round is just feeling each other out, just kind of seeing what do we expect. They never really take the bull by the horns and show the other team, this is what you're going to expect from us. This is how we're going to play, and kind of put their stamp on it. I just think they're going to kind of try to see what the Vegas Golden Knights throw at them and adjust from there. It's basically been their MO for the past couple years.
Yeah, this is a bad comparison that everybody will hate. But when LeBron was going on that run to 8 straight finals,
stop.
A lot of times in game 1, people would be like, yeah, he's just feeling out what the other team is, see what they have, and then they make adjustments and take over the series from that point. I mean, that might be what we see with the others. Cass, sorry for the reference. It's an accurate one, but your thoughts on game 1 tonight?
I don't know. Anything LeBron, I'm just like barf. So
God, not today.
I don't want to go there.
Not today. It's a game day. Cass, save it for the summer.
Sorry. Game day. Yeah, we can't have those emotions all over the place.
No.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's just they're feeling it out. Like, I think they just play better under pressure. And for whatever reason, if there's no pressure, or they feel like there's no pressure, or like there's a clean slate, they suck, and they don't play well. Start of the seasons, they suck. They don't play well. Coming out of a long break, it's like a clean slate. They suck. They don't play well. Like, it's just start of a series. It's a fresh slate. They suck. They don't play well. Like, and you can look at most of the rounds last year as well, and sometimes it goes beyond just that game 1, and it leaks into game 2 and game 3, and that's where you see them lose to Florida in the Stanley Cup last year. Is they were poor the first number of games. So I'm hoping that's not going to be what we see, but they haven't really proven the capacity to do otherwise.
How long do you have to be that team before you change your?
You shouldn't.
The way you operate.
How long have we talked about the Oilers like letting a grade A chance in the first shot of the game? Like, this has been like a 3 years running thing.
Yeah.
So it's not, you're not going to all of a sudden majestically change it when it's like everyone knows it's an issue, but what do you do to change it? Like, there's nothing you can do. Oh, we're going to be better prepared, right? We're going to be ready to go. We're going to prepare properly and mentally get ourselves to a place where we're good. And you talk and you say that and you do that, and it just doesn't change. So until they actually prove that they're going to be ready to go at the start of the series, I don't know if it'll happen. I hope they are. They have the capacity to. But I hope they don't sit back. It's just, playing from behind in a series sucks from a fan standpoint. And I think ultimately for them, even though they seem to just,
they seem to thrive in that situation though. Yeah.
They shouldn't, but.
Gage, they got to have a split there. I know against LA, they managed to get away with it, but can you fall behind 2-0 in 2 straight series against 2 pretty good teams and still pull it off?
I think they can.
Even if you think they could still win it, even if they just drop it.
They're so dominant at home. What's their record at home? Like, they've won the last 8 games at home, 7 games at home.
Back to the regular season?
Back to the playoffs.
Back to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, they won. No, they lost game 3 last year at home.
Okay, right.
So they've won 5 in a row at home. Game 4, game 6, and then these 3 games.
So, what the old adage? It's not a series until you lose at home.
Yeah.
Right? Would it be nice to get the split? I just think they got to end this thing as quick as possible.
Like, stop having to drain yourself for 4 games at the tail end of a series to advance. It'd be nice to come through a series where, it's 1-1. You win a couple at home, you go up 3-1. You lose one, and then you win game 6, and it's kind of like a tidy 6-gamer.
Yeah. Like, do your best to end this, because the next round, I think that's the mountain that they need to get over. Because if the Oilers get back to a final, I do think they roll with it. They're kind of like Florida last year. They've been there. They don't want to feel like that anymore. If they go up, if Florida manages to be the team, I think you might run into a little bit of fatigue. And if you push them to the edge, and it will be tough, but you can kind of get them going, well, we did win it last year, right? If you run into the Leafs, whatever, there's not a lot of experience over there. They're just happy to be there. I think you can dominate them. But it's just that next series. So get this one done as quick as possible and start on time. I think that's important, because the longer this goes, it's just the wear and tear, because this is a physical, hard team to play against. And you don't want to do it for too long if you don't have to.
All right, let's dive into goaltending. Always big in a series like this. If you have any questions or thoughts, and you are watching or listening to Two Guys and a Goalie today, presented to you by GS Construction, hammer the thumbs up for us over on YouTube. Leave your comments in the YouTube chat. We're only 32 likes away from hitting 100 today. That should be, it's 250 of you watching. Hammer the thumbs up for us. Let's blow through 100 over there. And of course, you can text us at 780-218-9999. I think the general consensus would be the Golden Knights have a better blue line. The Oilers have a better forward group. Between the pipes, Aiden Hill's coming in with an 880 in the first round, but has won it in the past. Pickard coming in, 4-0, has not lost yet. Gager, is it a lean towards the Golden Knights between the pipes? And if so, what are your thoughts on Aiden Hill in this series?
No, I don't think it's a lean. I think if you're
saw it off.
No, I check Mark Pickard.
You would? Hey, holy smokes!
Oh, he's won 4 in a row.
Yeah,
he was hot down the stretch. And he just beat a Vezina finalist in a 7-game series, where basically it was the last one to make a save. And he did that. I think his confidence is booming. And looking at the numbers of Aiden Hill, it's sawed off there. I just think now that Pickard's rolling a little bit, I have to give the edge to him going into a series down 2 and just playing the way he did. And yeah, he made the saves he had to. And I think that's all you need from him.
Cass, your thoughts on this battle between the pipes?
Yeah, how does the saying go? There's lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Yeah.
Is that the phrase? I believe. Pickard's got 4 in a row. Aiden Hill has the advantage. I would say slight. It's not a massive one, but I would say Aiden Hill has the advantage. And here's my thought: is Pickard's got 4 wins in a row, but he hasn't played spectacular hockey. Like, he's played average. He hasn't been unbelievable. He's made a couple good saves at key moments, which is incredibly important. Gets the Oilers where they needed to go, which is on to the next round. But when I look at overall, I go, okay, if you're pinning it up of just Pickard versus Aiden Hill, Hill has the Stanley Cup pedigree. It wasn't spectacular last round either, but I don't know. I give if I'm looking at the playoff wise, basically what I was trying to say with the statistics comment is you kind of got to throw just the playoffs out to a certain extent and throw last round out and said, okay, if this was fresh coming into the start of this series between the two of them, who would we say has the advantage? We're probably going to say Hill has the advantage if it was going to be Pickard against Hill. And I kind of still land there again, where I think Aiden Hill has a slight advantage over Pickard, even though Pickard's got some momentum coming in with the wins. And he absolutely should start for the Oilers because he just got 4 wins in a row.
Gager, it is Pickard's net until blank.
Are you looking for a one-word answer? Because I don't think I can do
I mean,
that.
you could also do a sentence. I'll also accept sentences.
2 losses in a row.
Okay. No matter what, like, even if he's good in the losses.
But if these games are 2-1 and he's like, hovering around 905, I think he might still get a 3, game 3. I think he would. If they lose these in hard-fought, low-scoring games, he's making 33 out of 35 saves. I think you still go with him in game 3.
Cass, same question. Calvert Pickard's net until blank.
He sucks.
Until he sucks.
Until he sucks. Yeah. Until he has a really bad game. And I think it's just one bad game. Like if he chunks it and blows it and he becomes the reason that you lost the game or a strong reason that you lost the game, you're switching it up and you're going.
So if he's the main reason you lost a game, then that's when even after one game. So you wouldn't give him a do-over in game 2 if he's the main reason they lose tonight.
No, I don't think they will. And I probably wouldn't either. Again, like I don't want to say they're looking like, even if you look heading into this, like there's a reason that the coaching staff was kind of playing the games and being like, oh, look, Skinner's in the starter's net on Sunday and now Pickard's in on Monday, and who's the starter going to be? We don't know. We're not going to tell you. We're trying to decide ourselves. And then they knew it was Pickard the whole time, as most of us did. But just in the way that plays out, in that Skinner's going to be in the starter's net on Sunday, right? And you're switching it up. You're still communicating to your group that Skinner is still an important part of this. And I do just think from a coaching staff standpoint, and this is even like, because I know people are going to jump all over. They probably already all are jumping all over me and just shredding me and my family is what tends to happen. Apparently my family gets involved too. It was some of the comments that get made on this. But what they're going to look at this and say, Pickard, yes, we don't want to change anything because we won 4 in a row. But the team played so poorly those first 2 games that, we're not pinning it, and nor should they. They're not pinning those games on Stuart Skinner. And Stuart Skinner's still your starter. So if Pickard has a really bad game, they're going to go back to Skinner. That's what they're going to do. Now, you can disagree with that, but that's going to be the reality is you pull Skinner or you pull Pickard if he has one really bad game.
If Pickard plays a bad game, they're still going to blame Skinner, so he'll get the next one.
No, I know, you're right. He said something to Pickard in between periods, and he touched his pad.
Right.
He gave him a pat, and it just rubbed some of that magic off.
Hamden Steve texts in and says it's Pickard's net until he has a terrible game. Skinner comes on in relief and looks good, or if they lose 2 in a row. So there's that one as well. Also, Reed Wilkins just texted me and said it'll be a 7:50 puck drop tonight for this game. So not 7:30 like the game says, but it'll be a 7:50 puck drop, which is actually good news for me because I'm coaching baseball until almost 8 o'clock. So I'll be able to get to Boston Pizza Westgate with some time in the first period still going. So
my boy never played baseball, so
yeah, I put Marshall in as something to do in just the spring, and learned pretty early that he's pretty passionate about it.
Oh, really?
Like he kind of gets it.
Nice.
A lot of kids at that age don't necessarily under. He's not playing like high level ball, but I don't know. He understands the game pretty intense when a lot of kids are just sitting around chewing spits and not paying attention. And Marshall's like, Daddy, tell those guys to pay attention. Like he's So yeah, no, he likes baseball. I got to get him some new baseball pants.
No lacrosse, huh?
Yeah, no, a lot of running in lacrosse. The Nielsen men aren't necessarily big runners. So we'll stick with baseball where he can play first base and be a power hitter. He's got a first baseman's body at the age of 10. So don't have to worry about that one. Don't have to worry about that one too much. All right, let's get to number crunchers for Play Alberta. If you haven't checked out playalberta.ca today and gone to the EST Specials tab, there are a few Oilers related wagers that you can go hop on right now. We've got the Lock Shot Partner Parlay, which is Oilers plus 1.5 tonight. So that would be to lose by 1 or less or win. And the Timberwolves to win tonight. That's plus 100. Oilers to win and Caps both to win tonight. That's Jay's play of the day. It's plus 341. I've got my play of the day, an Evan Bouchard assist at plus 106. Has not had an assist since game 1 of the playoffs, which is kind of crazy. Draisaitl goal, Bouchard assist, and Kane 3 shots, plus 430. That's our early bird bet. And then the Oilers and the Caps both to win their series. That one will be up until the Caps game starts, plus 305. Those are all available over at playalberta.ca. And why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino, game, sports, betting, and lottery. And today, deposit $5 minimum and use the code YEG50, and you will get an EST exclusive $50 free bet to get you started on that one. All right, from a numbers cruncher's perspective, first of all, how crazy is that Bouchard hasn't had an assist since game 1? He had 3 assists in game 1, did not have an assist in game 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and the Oilers still won the series.
Nothing that guy does surprises me anymore. It's he's amazing.
He's amazing.
He really is.
He doesn't even need to get assists to help them win games.
Yeah.
Had 4 goals in the series. So that certainly helps. That was the number one thing. The other number crunchers one I wanted to get to, the Oilers power play, after a slow start, Cass, in the first round, ended up being 38.5%. That is the best power play of the teams currently remaining in the playoffs. The only team that had a better power play than them in the first round was the team they were playing, the Los Angeles Kings, whose power play slowed down through the series, still ended up at 40%. Power play is going to be pretty important. I would think we'll see how many power plays they actually get in the series against the Golden Knights. The one thing that we are seeing a little bit more, Cass, and I want your thoughts on this. You see Perry as a net front presence to start some of these power plays now, and then Hyman slides in there. How much does it change from a Perry to a Hyman? Do you see a lot of difference?
Not a massive amount. I mean, you're getting a little bit of a different look. Perry's a little bit of a bigger body, tries to take away the goalie's eyes a little bit more, where Hyman tries to play a little more positional. Like you'll see him slide off to the side and, pinch the post, trying to get a deflection in. So I would say a little bit more movement with Hyman and a little bit more grizzle with Perry in terms of style. But they're both good options on that power play. And you have the ability, and I think we talked about this on the Oil Stream pre and post game show a couple of times. It's like you have the ability to slide both those guys in there. And with Perry, you're in minute management mode in a series where it's like you don't want to be playing him too much. But the power play is a good opportunity to get him out there to have a guy that has not just that power play experience, but he's a big game player. Not that Hyman isn't a big game player, but Perry seems to find a way in big moments, as he has his whole career, to be involved at a level that helps. Their power play the first couple of games was awful against the LA Kings. Now, the LA Kings, I think, also did a really good job of being super aggressive on the penalty kill. And then Edmonton just couldn't execute. It had been a while since that group had played together as well at that, with all the injuries that they had. And then they started to find their groove, and then it was firing on all cylinders. And you're not going to go wrong with either of those guys. Like, you're not. You can basically look at it to say, was Hyman just on the ice when the penalty was called? Oh, he was just on the ice for 40 seconds. Put Perry out there. Oh, Perry was just on the ice for 30 seconds. Put Hyman out there. They're both fresh. Okay, we can pick which one we want. But it just gives you a little bit more options and a slightly different look for whoever's net front for the Vegas Golden Knights.
It's weird. I mean, what is it? 38%, Dusty? Is that
38.5 or so? 38.5, yeah.
I mean, when I think back to that series against the Vegas Golden Knights, wasn't that their power play historic? That at that point, like, it was just ridiculous. That's how
that was the season their power play was insane.
Yeah, and I felt in that series that it was so automatic for so long that it was detrimental to the Edmonton Oilers when it didn't work. Like, it was when they got a power play, we're going to go score now. And against the Golden Knights, they did a tremendous job of their PK and not allowing the Oilers to score on the power play. And really, it gave the Knights a lot of juice killing that power play just because it was so historic. And I think now that it's still a really good power play, but it's not the sole thing that the Oilers rely upon. I think they relied upon it a little bit too much. So now I think there's it's a little bit more equal throughout 5-on-5 scoring, chances, shorthanded a few. So I think it suits them better just not having that to rely on their power play to win games. It's not their sole weapon.
Gordon McDowell over on YouTube, and if you are watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Pushes our show out to others just like you, and we are just 8 likes away from hitting 100 on the show today. Make sure you stick around. EST Afternoons will be coming up, followed by the Reed Wilkins Show, followed by right at 6 o'clock the GCL Diesel pregame show, which will be going at you from Boston Pizza Westgate. Gordon says it usually takes a minute between the broadcaster mentioning that Vegas is the least penalized team in the league before one of them rabbit punches an opposing player in the head. So, yes, that's good. Darnell Nurse last time. I mean, the last time these two teams played, it was Pietrangelo with a slash, Darnell Nurse a suspension. Tough to read. I mean, they don't have Marchessault anymore. They've lost They've lost some pretty good players. They've added Tomas Hertl since then. The Oilers have changed. Cass, how much do you read into the last time? I know it was just 2 years ago, but it seems like a lot's changed on both sides.
There has been a lot that's changed on both sides, so I don't read into it too much. It's a little different than like the LA situation against Edmonton, where if Edmonton got momentum, which they ultimately were able to do, that LA might crumble because of just they've lost every single year, and it's like they just can't get over that hump. And I don't feel it's the same way with Edmonton. Where Edmonton's looking at this, and yes, they lost a tight series a couple years ago, but there's so much that has changed in personnel and play style even a little bit too, that I just can't see that carrying over at all, guys. Like, they're probably not even really thinking about that outside of maybe a specific few where, guys like Draisaitl are like, well, I really want to shove it down Pietrangelo.
Right, they got to be thinking about it, right? There's a bit of revenge that they'd be looking for here.
Yeah, for guys that have been around, a little bit of revenge, but outside of that, I can't see much carrying over.
Different coach entirely too for the Oil.
Yeah. I agree with you, Cass. It's completely different than last time. Different personnel. Some are the same, so there's still those rivalries, but it's the Knights are I'd say they're a lot more different than the last time compared to the Oilers.
All right, Huntorio Momes says, I feel like the biggest issue with the last series against Vegas was largely coaching. Woody got taken to the woodshed. Knobloch will make some real adjustments this time around. So there's another one on the coaching front. It should be a good game tonight. Obviously, with this game tonight, I won't be watching any episodes of Andor. Have you been watching Andor?
I watched the first little bit, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is good.
You got to pay attention so much because of the dialogue in Andor. Like, there's a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, no, I did the recap of the last season.
Yes.
Like, that was great. So I go, right.
Yeah, they put
right.
together a separate one because I was waiting on the first episode to be previously on Andor, and I didn't get it.
No.
And I was like, what?
Go back. There's an actual, like, it's long too. It's like 10 minutes where it fills you back in, and right. So
yeah,
because when it starts, it's years later too. Right?
Yeah. Well, and then after episode 3, it jumps again.
Really?
Sorry,
Okay.
it jumps again a bit.
Jeez.
Cass, did you what? You did?
Don't tell me.
Are you okay?
No,
You haven't watched Andor yet, and you obviously didn't go see Thunderbolts this weekend.
No, I didn't do that either. That's on my list.
I think you'll love Thunderbolts, Cass.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm excited to be excited about going to watch a Marvel movie. So I'm excited to watch that one, which is good.
And stay till the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Obviously. Because it's just been playoff hockey on in our house.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't had a ton of time. And the nights when we have, it's like we've been trying to chip away because I want to get rid of this subscription because it's the only show I want to watch on there. So it's like we got to get through it so we can cancel our Apple TV. I'm trying to get through Severance, which we only got like a couple episodes left. That one's been really, really good. Really like that one. So I haven't started Andor yet. That's next on the list.
Apple TV is so cheap though, Cass.
I know, but I'm cheap.
Oh,
alligator arms, man.
All right.
Thunderbolts is the best Marvel movie since when, Gager?
Since
you have to go back to Endgame?
No, Deadpool Wolverine.
Deadpool Wolverine was good.
I would say
different. It's like the exact opposite
of
Thunderbolts.
But I know what you're saying. I
enjoyed some of the Spider-Man. Spider-Man, No Way Home.
No Way Home was really good.
Was that one after Endgame? There's 2 of them after Endgame, wasn't there?
2 after Endgame.
I like both of those ones too.
But no, I would say yeah. With what I know what you're saying. Yeah, because this is the first one that really lays some groundwork, right? Oh, because when you go back and watch the original ones, that makes sense now. That makes sense now. So it seems like they're back on track.
I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah. What's coming up on EST afternoons today?
Hold on, we're hot off the presses here. Let me tell you. We're going to get into obviously Oilers Vegas. I think Hernan and I were going to do our X factors of the series too. What we did it last series too. Heat and Smoke at 140. Ken Bohickey, Bolke. I always mess that. Bolke from Sin Bin Vegas, and then tee-up Jan Reed at 240.
Hey, what's this deal with a fire? Bruce Simpson just texted me and said there's a fire right around here,
Really?
like right outside, right beside us. 2-minute drive away.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It was big. We saw the flames from the window, man. Yeah, the smoke.
Holy
it's
smokes.
crazy. Hopefully everything's okay.
Holy smokes.
Get the Get the sledgehammer. We got to get out of here.
We might get that patio.
Matty, you nailed it. We got the sledgehammer. Well, hopefully they can get that under control. That sucks for whoever's business that is. I did not even know about this fire.
Burn the old cable lines.
Oh, man. Anyway, if we disconnect, if we're off the air this afternoon, it's because fire burned the internet. So fingers crossed that we can keep that going. All right, that's going to do it. Game 1 goes tonight. EST afternoons. Hernan will be stepping into this seat. Gager's going to stay right there. Cass, you enjoy the game tonight, buddy. And we'll obviously talk to you on Thursday with 2 guys and a goalie. I'll be back tomorrow morning on the Nielson Show breaking down what we hope will be a Game 1 victory for the Edmonton Oilers. Very rare to say that, but maybe tonight's the night. For your presenting partners over at GS Construction, and thanks to Taran for signing on for another year as a presenting sponsor of 2 Guys and Goalie. If you are looking for work, as Gager said, it sounds like an even more fun place to work than here. So go visit their page at Indeed.ca or go to gsconstruction.ca, scroll on down, find Ready to Work, and take your career to the next level. Talk to you tomorrow morning.